Okay guys, if you want the chance to win some M1 grants, all you have to do is leave a like on the video, comment down below, make sure you guys are subscribed, and I'll be giving those away in next week's episode. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Building Vietnam in Lego, and this week's episode we're going to be tackling a couple issues. One is we're going to be doing our best to fill in all of this here, basically covering up all these random plates with green plates. I talked about this in last week's episode. I'm running low on green plates, so we're probably going to have to use some green bricks, which I do have a decent amount of, so I think we'll be able to kind of cobble this together at least good enough for, you know, kind of a rough once-over, and then we can come in with smaller plates, you know, like these ones here, and do the finer detail work and make it more of a smooth, gradual, you know, transition. So we also worked on that in last week's episode, so we're going to be touching on that. And then my goal is if I can get this completely done, so I have all these random plates covered up, and then I'd like to do the same with kind of this crack in here, fill this void, and what that really entails is figuring out how do I want to merge these road sections, because we have one going like this and one like that, so it's probably going to involve some tiles and plates and some trickery, but that's going to be something we have to tackle sooner rather than later so we can get the rest of this filled in, and I'm really excited about it. So without further ado, I'm probably going to go ahead and start working on this. I'll probably bounce between two things, but one thing I did want to mention that I looked back in the comments of last week's episode, and Jason commented you should have some random vehicles and civilians, and I was working on cleaning out the shelves over here, and I like reached back here to grab a vehicle, and I grabbed this. This I built for, I want to say, was it my Berlin mock? Look how dusty that is. I can't remember why I built this, but it's like a Dacia. It's like almost from PUBG looking, just kind of a generic car. It's a really cool design from a guy on Flickr, I believe it was. And I mean, we could have that somewhere in the city. I thought it would be cool to make a couple others of these, maybe in like red and blue and some different colors, maybe make some that are on fire and stuff. But I thought it'd be cool to have some random civilian cars in there. So Jason, I definitely like where your head's at. I think that's going to be in the mock. So let me know what you guys think in the comments of doing some other color vehicles like that, or some trucks and whatnot. But I'm going to go ahead and start working on this. I'll come back when I get it finished. Okay, so I've got it completely covered over. It's already looking a lot better because you don't see those random colored plates. It goes straight from grass into the city section. Now, one thing that a lot of people mentioned was to try to make this as smooth a transition as you can, because right now it kind of just drops. So what I'm doing is, like I said, this is kind of a rough once-over pass. I mean, you can see back there, that's very abrupt. It's literally like plate, then two bricks, and then more plates. So I don't like that. I want it to be more smooth and gradual like this over here. So now that I got the bricks down and everything kind of covered up, I'm going to use the remaining 2x4 plates that I have along with the 2x2 corner plates I have, and I'm going to do my best to kind of extend this and make it more gradual. So that's what I'm going to work on next. And then I don't know if in this episode I'm going to start adding grass or not. I might do that in next week's episode or kind of in between episodes, because I do really want to start to kind of cover up these gaps here and figure out how I want to do that. So right now I'm going to go ahead and probably finish up this as best I can and then kind of bounce between the two. Okay, so I smoothed this out just a little bit, not too much, but one thing I bounced over here and did was I removed all of the random colored, we had some red and some old gray tiles holding together this road section, so I finally tiled all of this with dark bluish gray. You can see I kind of stair-stepped them so they interlock a little bit better. Now, I do have enough of these where I could take some, and if you get really down low here, you can see I could actually put them down here, and it would kind of fill in this gap like this tile is right there. I might end up doing that, but you're not going to be seeing this anyways, so unless these are leftovers, I might come in here and fill in this gap, but for now, it's good enough because you're not going to ever be down this low. I'm never going to have like a camera shot this down low, so you're not going to see that. So, like I said, if I end up with extras, I'll come over here and just stick them under there, but for now, it looks pretty good now that it's all dark bluish gray, and with the white lines, I think it's looking really good. So now what I'm working on is I've kind of cleared off some of the workspace here, and what I'm going to work on is finally getting these kind of attached here. I think I can fit one more in there, and then it's kind of a matter of, I'm probably going to start down here and just kind of creep my way up. I've got to take these tiles here, put them on this edge here, and then figure out how I'm going to do this kind of mating section right there. So that's kind of what I'm working on, is filling in all these voids. My goal is to try to fill up as much of this as I can in this week's episode. So I'm going to go ahead and probably start by attaching these with the 2x6 plates that I got in on BrickLink. So let's go ahead and do that. So I didn't realize that this road didn't have the tiles underneath that I've been talking about in the past couple episodes that actually keeps the road nice and parallel and perpendicular to itself, or at least to these plates. So I went ahead, tore up the road. You can see how I have all the sections kind of connected together, and I went ahead and put in just some random colored tiles, and basically then these will just come in here and they'll just clip in to the little connection points there, and we'll be good to go. So I totally forgot about that. I'm glad I caught that before I started building around this, because that would have just been a nightmare to rip up everything around it and come back and put those in. But you know, like usual, doesn't matter what color, because you're not going to see this, so I try to use kind of the random colors that I know I won't be using in like the city section. So I'm going to go ahead and reattach all of these and kind of go back to square one and see what I have left to do. Okay, one other thing I totally forgot about is adding the white 2x4 plates in between these. So it goes 5 bricks, 1 plate, and then 5 bricks, a plate, and then a tile at the end. So I went ahead and added those. I had to add one more here. I didn't know how I could make it kind of meet here, so I think this is good enough. Let me know what you guys think. Another thing that I did very quickly was I had to make a kind of custom piece right, if it'll focus, right there. So it's 2 plates, and then I have to cut off the studs. There's not enough room in there to put like a tile or anything, so we're just gonna have to cover that up somehow, you know, something like this. You only see it on this edge or this front face, so it doesn't look that bad, but it's little things like that when you're building with snot, or at least the snot technique. It's very hard to merge up certain things, and that's one of the issues I'm having over here. If I walk over here, basically I don't know how I'm gonna do this, so I'm kind of playing around with some ideas, but it's being really challenging. So I'm going to need some help in the comments down below, but I'm going to keep working at it. You can see I cut off the studs of this one brick here, and it meets up very perfectly with the edge of this brick, which is good, but I don't know how, you know, actually, I'm kind of thinking and looking at this while I talk. If I put this brick down there, and I do bricks like this, I'm wondering if I can put just bricks up against there. So basically continue this brick all the way down, and then I'm just gonna have to cut the studs off of a bunch of bricks to make them meet up flush. That might be, I hate cutting more of these bricks than I have to. That's the issue. So I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and play with it. I do know that I can probably get one more strip of these 4x4 plates and light bluish gray down there, so I might do that. But it's little things like this that really rack your brain on how to do it properly. So that's kind of what I'm working on. I'm going to try to come back when this is kind of figured out. Alright guys, we are getting somewhere. So I'm really excited about, I was able to figure out this issue. So basically for this section right here, what I did was I stacked 2 1x1s on top of each other, then a 1x1 tile, and then a plate, and it actually fits completely perfectly in there. It's very like tight to fold this down in there, but it works. And then instead of cutting, what I originally was doing was taking a 1x2 brick and cutting the studs off. I don't know why I never thought of it, but if you just stack 2 plates and then a tile on top, it's the same exact height as a brick. So that's what I went ahead and did here, and that's what I'm going to continue to do, is basically stacking up 2 plates and then doing a tile on the top edge. And you know, it doesn't have studs on it like this, but what I'm thinking is these sidewalks are probably going to be covered with tiles anyways, so you're only going to see like that little sliver of light bluish gray. So I'm thinking this is going to work out perfectly. So what I went ahead and did was I found this bin of 1x6 bricks in light bluish gray. I basically continued these all the way down as far as I needed. Then I'm starting to fill in this right here with whatever light bluish gray plates I can find. I'm kind of running low, so they're getting smaller and smaller, as you can see. But I'm filling this in, and then I'm going to come in here and fill in this gap all the way along here, just like I did right here. And I'm really excited about that because we're moving along pretty quickly now that I got this figured out. I was really concerned about that. you know, the next challenge will be kind of this section here, which is going to be tricky, but I definitely can get this done. So I'm going to go ahead, put the camera down, and finish this up right now. Okay guys, it's the next day and I've been working on this mock. All yesterday was basically the clips you just saw, and then today I'm starting on it again. You can see I've had to move some of these bins out. This bin I actually totally forgot about was in there, so I've been kind of looking through there for, I'm running low on dark bluish gray parts, surprisingly. I'm running low on 2x4 bricks. I just found this bin was tucked all the way down under there, and luckily it has a good, at least a handful of 2x4 bricks, because I needed them for this last road section and then extending these so they can meet up right here. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. So the issues I'm having, as you can see, I've extended these as long as I can, and I'm running into some issues. I'm thinking a tile might be able to fit in there, but it's going to be interesting. I'm going to try to use like plates to stack these up and basically fill in this gap as best I can. It's going to be a little bit janky, but we're going to have to make it work. And then kind of filling in these gaps are going to be interesting because it's so jagged, there's no consistency to it. So I'm slowly but surely doing that. I was just looking for some plates like this because I just added this little border section here, and I'm basically going to do this all the way down here and just slowly but surely kind of fill it in. But that's kind of what I'm working on now. And then I just finished adding, I added that white stripe, I added this little 1x8 section here, and then I'm going to do just one more little bit of the sidewalk right here. And then my main goal is I need to get this done first, and then I need to figure out how I can make these all more uniform so it'll make things easier going along. But that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like I said, I had to pull out some bins. I've got a lot of bins pulled out right now to work on this mock, but that's what I'm going to go ahead and work on right now, and I'll come back to you guys when I have an update. Okay, so I wanted to jump back on video and show you guys that I got this kind of merged up. There is a little bit of a crack there, but you know, that's probably as good as it's gonna get. Basically what I was able to do for these two was just stack up a combination of plates and tiles, and they were just really snug to press in there, but I got them in there. This one was just a little bit, like a tile on top of a plate was just too much, so I actually took a fingernail file, or emery cloth or sandpaper, whatever you have, and I just sanded it down a little bit, and then it was eventually, you know, not as thick, and it was thinner, and I could actually press it in there. Once again, this one's by far the tightest one in there. It's not wiggling around at all. This one I can kind of move, you can see. But, you know, sometimes you have to modify Lego pieces. That's just how I roll. I just want to get things done. So that's kind of how we have the road right now. I don't think I'm going to continue the dotted lines on this road because this is more of like a side access road. So the dots are going to probably stop there for now at least. So now what I'm going to do is I actually came in here and removed, you probably saw in the last clip, there was a bunch of like random colored parts that I was experimenting and playing with, and I removed those so I kind of have a clean slate here, and I got to figure out how I want to tackle this. So I don't really know right now, so that's kind of the issue. So I'm going to go ahead and keep kind of twiddling my thumbs and figuring things out. Alright guys, this is what I've got so far. So I've actually made a lot of progress. This is taking a lot longer than I thought, but I'm getting it done. So I had to fill in, there was a section here that you probably remember that was not, you know, filled in, and I went ahead and filled it in with dark bluish gray. It's kind of a large section right here, but I figured what we could do is we could put, when this mock's all done, we could put like a car right here, or we could put a bunch of crates and have some people using that as cover kind of in the middle of an intersection. So I've slowly but surely filled this in. Basically what I'm doing is the same thing I did for this kind of merging section, is just stacking up plates, bricks, and tiles, trying to get rid of all of these gaps, and then just kind of meeting up these plates with them. So that's what I'll be doing in this gap here. I'll just be kind of filling in these gaps as best I can, and that's just kind of what we're going to have to go with. I'm going to have to do that all back here, but we're going to do this section in next week's episode because I just simply don't have any more time today to be working on this, and I've already spent probably close to 6 or 7 hours on this already just for this one episode, so I'm pretty proud of that. But let's do a quick recap here. So honestly, I can't remember what we did in this episode. Oh yeah, so we got like all of this sidewalk done. We got all of the road done. We've got these tiles on the end completely done. The dotted lines are done. We've got a couple things up here that we fixed. Little details like that, and then obviously the road section. Oh yeah, then I totally forgot. We did all of this in this week's episode. So overall, definitely leave a like on the video because I think we got a lot more done in this episode, and I think I'm really proud of it. It's starting to look like a city. Let me know what you guys think. If you kind of cover up this section right here, and look at it, it's starting to look like a city, because you know, you can get rid of those random plates, but like right there, starting to look like a city. I'm really excited, so let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let's go ahead and cut to the giveaway winners, and then we'll come back and do a couple more things on the mock. Alright guys, we got the winners, or not the winners, the users loaded up, so let's go ahead and click this 3 times. The third person will be the winner. Boom, Delta 9 X-Ray, bruh moment. Well, guess what, Delta? You are the winner of last week's episode 27. So all you have to do, shoot me an email through my website, BrickTactical.com, with your name, address, and then a picture or a screenshot of you signed into your YouTube account, and I can get those prizes out to you. Wow, okay, we got a lot done in this week's episode, and I have a lot of stuff to clean up. So once again, thank you guys for supporting this series. I think it's turning out really cool. If we take a step back here, it's starting to look like a city section down there, and I'm really excited. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the progress so far. Feel free to leave me any feedback in the comments down below. But definitely make sure you guys share the series with a friend. My goal for the end of the year is to get to 80,000 subscribers. We're about, I want to say, a little over 2,000 away, like 2,200 or something like that, because I think we're at 77,800 or something like that. So if we could get to 80,000 by the end of the year, that would be awesome. So definitely share it, guys. Thank you so much for the support. And let me know if you guys have any input, put it in the comments down below. Feel free to message me on Instagram, any of that good stuff. If you guys have any ideas for the mock, I'm totally open to hearing them. Just let me know. For example, I think it was, I can't remember his name, Jordan or Jason. I think it was Jordan or Josh. It started with a J. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. But he mentioned the kind of having some old civilian cars and whatnot throughout the city. I think that's a great idea. So let me know what you guys think of that. Other than that, I post every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. Every Sunday I post a Vietnam video. And make sure you guys tune in for next week's episode. And I'll put a link to last week's episode right there. I'll put a link to the complete playlist. So if you want to go watch the rest of the series, go right there. And then subscribe right there. It's totally free. It just alerts you whenever I post a new video on your YouTube browser page. So other than that, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and I'll see you guys in next Sunday's video.